2 minutes until showtime.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into a Friday edition of the Computer America Show. It's our pre-show, live streaming video, and we are looking forward to a really terrific show. We're going to talk about home automation tonight with an amazing little device from Allure from Allure Energy, and we're going to be talking about their EverSense Thermostat. But it's a lot more than just a thermostat. I mean, this is an amazing little device. And we'll give you more details as we move into the show. Of course, hour two, we have computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. So it's Friday. Sit back, relax. So we'll be starting in about 1 minute here on Computer America.
One minute until showtime. Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And it's Friday! Yes, another week of broadcasting excellence in the can, as we say here on the show. And we got a terrific program set up for you tonight. Of course, it's Friday. That means we're going to have a show reminder, winner of the week. Yep. That's right. Someone's going to be winning a really nice prize from our good friends over at Logitech, the Touchpad T650, about at $80. So we'll be calling that name out probably in the second hour of the show. And any good movies? Are we doing a movie this week? I don't think so. No movies I can see.
Yeah, I don't remember any.
Nothing yet.
I mean, there are movies out. It's just Craig and I don't recall them.
Right. And in the first hour, we're going to talk about home automation with a company called Allure Energy. Okay, they have a product called their EverSense product, but on the surface, you might think it's just a thermostat, but it's so much more. I mean, we're talking streaming music and weather and monitoring. Works with your smartphone. It's an amazing product. Allure Energy is here with us in this first hour of the show. Now, if you have a comment, a question, or suggestion while we're on the air for our guest or for us, we always welcome your phone calls at 347-884-8881. That's 347-884-8881. I'll get you on and get you through. Email. We have a special email inbox set up when we're live and on the air. It's live, L-I-V-E, at ComputerAmerica.com. You can also join us in our live interactive IRC chat room. Just go to our homepage at ComputerAmerica.com. Right there in the middle of the page it says Interact with the Show. There's a button there that says Chat and Live Video. Click that, and you'll see on the left-hand side our live IRC chat room. It'll ask you for a nickname. That's the name you'll be known by when you go into the chat room. And then beneath that, there's a room for a CAPTCHA code. That's usually a number or a couple of words. That just verifies that you're a live human being and not a bot or robot of some sort. And then just click the connect button, and your browser will move you into the Freenode IRC chat room that we have here in Computer America. We also have a button beneath that for IRC clients. If you click that, it'll take you to our free software page, and then at the bottom we have a number of plugins that amplify the chat rooms to look just to look better. It makes it its own window, and if you plan to be in our chat room frequently, you might want to consider installing one of those plugins. But again, you can just use the browser, and it'll take you in there. And then on the other side of the page is our live Computer America video streaming page. You can see myself, my co-hosts, sometime the guests. I mean, it's all up there. So you not only can listen to the Computer America show, but you can watch the Computer America program as well. Sometimes we have the ability to share a screen, so if there's something on the screen that you want to see, we can do that as well. We have the technology here at Computer America. And of course, all of them are archived. Just go to the archives page and you can listen to the show anytime you want to, any of our shows that we've done here at Computer America. All right, so I think that pretty much does it. Anything else you want to mention before we bring on our first hour guest, Ben?
No, I think we're good to go.
Okay, well, our guest is from a company called Allure Energy, okay, and they are our guest this first hour. EverSense now is more than just a smart thermostat. I mean, there are a number of them out there. There's the Nest, and there's a number of them, but that's just the thermostat. With EverSense, with this device, this is an amazing device. You can get high-quality digital music that can be wirelessly streamed from a compatible iPhone or Android device with no wires, no docking, no fuss, no muss. I mean, if you want to check the weather, you can do that too. Monitor your home's temperatures, change it remotely, and so much more. It's automatic comfort for your home. It's truly a home automation. Now, here with us is Jim Mills. Jim is the Vice President of Business Development at Allure Energy. Jim, welcome into Computer America. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Wow, our pleasure. So I mean, I kind of gave it a brief overview. When you go to the Energy website, you see automatic comfort, and it looks to me like your main product is this EverSense technology. Why don't you give us, in your own words, exactly what this is?
Well, sure. EverSense is a Wi-Fi touchscreen thermostat, and it features our patented proximity control technology to make your life easier, greener, and more energy efficient. Now, what you do is you download the free EverSense mobile app for iPhone or Android, and then from then on, proximity control manages the home's temperature and energy usage based on how far or near each user is from their residence. So as the homeowners leave their dwelling, the environment in the home is altered based on how far away they are. And as they return, EverSense senses that and automatically creates the ideal environment that they want. Nowadays you can be stuck in traffic, and if you have EverSense, you can still arrive home to your perfect degree of cozy, and you never forget to save.
So it sounds very interesting. In other words, I know there are a number of electronic thermostats out now that pretend to control the temperature of your home. Mentioned like the Nest and have it, but I don't think any of them know where you are. And I know you can control some of them remotely, but not via proximity. I mean, when you're near the house or you're away from the home, you have to tell it. Whereas with this EverSense technology, it sounds like you have that. That's something kind of unique to this device.
Yes, we invented the technology, and we feel that many things in the home, beyond the thermostat, many things in the home are going to use proximity control technology one day. It just makes sense that as you go about your day, why shouldn't your home adapt to what you're doing?
So is there a story behind EverSense? I mean, there is?
Yeah, actually there is. We set out several years ago to make a learning thermostat that would predict a user's behavior. Well, we found that no matter how much you try to guess what someone will do based on their past action, their schedule still changes.
Sure.
If I don't know where I'm going or what my schedule is going to be next week, and I often don't, how can my thermostat learn that accurately?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Ben hardly never knows where he's going at any time, so I can see.
So we knew that consumers needed a product that would instantly adapt to changes in a user's activity, and that's when we created proximity control technology. And then we decided to add just a host of other cool features to make sure it was the coolest thermostat on the market.
Yeah, and evidently, I mean, it appears to me that it's. Let me ask you this: why did the team decide to create this device?
Well, we wanted something that would help consumers to automatically save money, yet allow them to stay comfortable. People like to be. A lot of people are environmentally conscious. They like to save money and they like to save energy. But if they forget, they don't save anything. So we wanted to make something that was really automatic and yet just make their life easier and more comfortable. And then we added all of the design and other features to make it attractive, fun, and easy to use.
Obviously, you have let me now. Obviously, this comes under the category of home automation, and I know home automation has really become a hot topic in this generation. I mean, home automation started way back with Radio Shack and their little plug-in modules, and it was a novelty, and it was kind of something fun to play with, but nobody really, I think, used it seriously. But of course, with the advent of the internet, and as computers continue to increase in their power and sophistication, and with our smart devices and our phones now, really this has come full circle, and I think that now that these things are viable. They're not just some interesting little science experiment, that the typical nerd might do this. I would think, I would think everybody would be customers for this type of thing. I mean, the way it works, you made it so simple.
Well, we think anybody who's a commuter, busy families on the go, certainly environmentally conscious people, people who travel a lot, just really anybody needing to lower their utility bills. Anyone who owns a house and wants to arrive home in comfort every day and save money, that's who we're targeting.
Yeah. Now, but it's with this EverSense device, and I'm assuming, is this the first device that Allure Energy has introduced?
We actually did some early work with several utility companies with product that had proximity control, but it just didn't have all of the other exciting features that EverSense has.
But it seems to me that the Allure Energy is targeted this product for the general consumer. I mean, the average consumer. Because we're going to talk about all the different features that it has. But it looks to me, and it appears to be, this is like a consumer product now, not just something that a tech would install.
Well, you're absolutely right. One of the things we did, we hired a lot of industrial designers and worked with them closely, and we kept revising the product to make sure that everything is consumer driven. We want everything you do, from the mobile app to the installation process for EverSense, to the whole customer experience, to just be very customer friendly, very, very easy to work with, and enjoyable to use. If you put technology in your life and it doesn't make your life simpler, we don't think it's good technology.
Yeah. Would you say that Allure Energy has been encouraged by the success of similar type products, like as I mentioned, I keep mentioning the Nest, but this seems to be one of the more popular ones, and that people are of the mindset now to accept this and kind of welcome this type of technology into their homes and their lives?
Yeah, I think you are going to see a lot more people start to adapt and use home automation. Home automation systems have been around for many years.
Yeah.
To your point, now that the smartphones are everywhere, the cost of things are coming down. Instead of thousands of dollars, you can take a single product, like EverSense for under $300, and you can start to enjoy all of these automated features.
Right, and we're going to talk about some of them. Again, the Now, does the thermostat itself, or are you calling it a thermostat, or are you just calling it EverSense, or is that the technology thermostat is using? How do you refer to the actual device?
EverSense.
Okay, EverSense. All right. So it's called the EverSense, and it uses EverSense technology. So let's talk a little bit about some of the features that are built into this. Now, again, this is a beautiful color screen, touch-sensitive device. It's about the size of the average thermostat, but when you look at it, it has like some interesting graphics that I think kind of appeal to the eye. When you take it out of the box, we'll talk about how easy or what you need to do to hook it up. But let's talk about some of the features that the EverSense actually has. We talked about the thermostat. What other things that can it do?
Well, you might notice that EverSense has speakers on it. And this is, you know, when we first came out with speakers on the thermostat, we had people ask us, well, why would you put speakers on a thermostat?
Well,
there was a point in time, absolutely. And there was a point in time when people said, why would you put a phone on a camera?
Well, that's
we think it's just logical. If you're going to have it, if you're going to have a device on your wall, it might as well be beautiful. It needs to please the eyes and it needs to please the ears. So with EverSense, you have your smartphone anyway. You can actually take your music from your iPhone or Android and stream it directly over to EverSense. Wireless streaming music, just that easy. In addition to that, we have energy-saving tips that you can access on there. Find out different ways to save more money. The energy tips are fun. They have great animation and sound, and you can learn different things if you're interested in learning how to save more money.
I mean, when you look at the typical thermostat, I mean, most people take the thermostat and hide it behind a picture frame or something. You know, they hang something over it. You know, you don't. It's not necessarily the most visually pleasing thing. And when you look at the EverSense, it's just the opposite.
Well, you know, instead of having to hang a picture frame over it, EverSense is a picture frame. You actually can take photos from Flickr, different slideshows that they have on Flickr, and you can have them play on the EverSense. You know, it's a Wi-Fi thermostat, so it's able to get information from there online and display beautiful pictures right in your home.
So it's like a little picture frame hanging on your wall. That's what you're saying.
That's correct. That's correct. If you're going to have it on your wall, it might as well be beautiful.
Yeah, I would think so. So you mentioned the speakers, and so you can stream music. Now, does the music come from the smartphone? I mean, how do you kind of set that up? How do you configure that?
It uses a protocol called DLNA, and basically it's just a protocol that's able to the app uses DLNA technology to send it over wirelessly to EverSense so it can be played.
And how good are the speakers? I mean, how good quality are they? I know it's hard to describe good speakers until you hear them. It's one of the things. It's like watching a high quality TV image on your TV image, and of course you can never see the true quality because it's only as good as your TV set that you're looking at it. But what kind of work? I mean, what kind of speakers are on here?
You know, the speakers are really of good quality. You can certainly hear them from a pretty good distance away. This isn't meant to be surround sound, but it sounds really good. People are normally really pleased and surprised with the you know, with the capabilities of the small built-in speakers. One of the things you'll notice is that this EverSense uses your 24-volt common wire that's just hooked up to your AC, and it's so energy efficient that it can run all of these things just from that. So it uses very little energy. It also has weather and even animated radar. So you can actually walk by the hallway on your way out, and you can check and see whether you need to take an umbrella.
Okay, well, you see, this is some of the cool stuff. Now, you mentioned a couple things. Are you saying that no batteries, or the EverSense does not use batteries at all?
That's exactly what I'm saying. We don't really want to add batteries to landfills, and it's just not needed. with EverSense. And one nice thing for the consumer, you don't have batteries that you have to worry about going out and replacing.
Yeah, that would be nice. So will EverSense, let's say I'm a homeowner and I'm listening to the show and I'm hearing this, oh, I want to try this, or I want to put it in. How compatible is EverSense to the existing thermostats that are out there? You know, Honeywell. You know, there are all these different thermostats. That usually, Honeywell's one of the more popular ones, but there are a number of them from many different companies. How compatible is EverSense to all of this technology, and how easy or difficult is it for someone to install an EverSense in their home?
It's well, we have very easy videos that can help guide you through the process. It's actually compatible with most systems that are out in the market today. The wiring for HVAC systems is fairly standard. The only thing that EverSense does require is the 24-volt common. You know, many homes today have the 24-volt common wire along with the other wires, you know, ready to go. There are instances where, you know, a house doesn't have modern wiring, and in that case, we would recommend calling an HVAC tech.
Now, how do I know? How would I know? The average person isn't going to know. Oh, that's just something I know. We got 24. You know, in other words, how do I'm going to know that this is going to work, or should I just basically play it safe and just call a technician, or is there any way to see what it is that we have to see if it's compatible?
Yes, if you go online to the support section, it will walk you through easy methods of determining what you already have.
So even before you purchase it, you can go to the EverSense, the Allure Energy website, and look at the EverSense information and watch the videos and see for yourself if this is something that's compatible to what you already have.
If you're the type of person that doesn't mind installing any other thermostat, any programmable thermostat, you know, this is certainly an easy installation as far as thermostats go. We did a lot. It's got a little dock that's very easy to use, where the wires just plug into it. Again, we looked at the whole process from beginning to end, and we wanted to make sure that everything, including installation, was easy.
What'd you say? Would the only tool you would need, what, is a screwdriver? It sounds like, or
that's correct. The only thing you need a driver.
Small screw. So no hammers, no saws, no drills.
No, nothing like that. As a matter of fact, we even have a mounting hardware, you know, so that you don't have to go out and buy things for your sheetrock there. That way you can just mount the dock right up there, and you don't have to go out and purchase it.
So if you ever hung a let's say a picture on your wall, you know, if you can hang a picture on your wall and you can put in the hooks and everything, chances are you have enough technical ability to put an EverSense on your wall. That's what it sounds like to me.
Absolutely, and if you run into anything along the way and you're maybe not sure about it, we have excellent technical support that can walk you through anything that you need.
Well, it sounds to me like, what was it you mentioned, 24 volt? What was it that you needed, the 24?
Yeah, it's the 24-volt common wire.
Okay, common wire. So I can call up Allure Energy and say, listen, I don't know whether I have this 24-volt common wire. Can you help me or walk me through it? You know, I mean, would you do that?
I mean, couldn't you technically just feel it with your finger and, you know? Oh, yeah, that feels like 24.
We absolutely could walk you through that, and that's something that we get a lot of those calls, and we're always excited to hear from people that are interested in our product. And after talking to our customer service reps, they're really, you know, they're located right there in Austin. By the way, that's actually where we do all of the final assembly, right in Austin, Texas. So you're talking to people that are right there that can talk you through, and you know, they can easily let you know whether you have a common wire.
No calls to India or anything like that. It's just right there in Austin, Texas. Okay. All right. So it sounds to me like it's easy to install. If you're not sure you have the 24-volt common wire, that you can certainly. Now, does that is that something that is typically lacking in an older home, or I mean, how far back? I mean, that doesn't have that type.
It really depends. It really depends. We've seen, you know, if at any point you've had your HVAC system upgraded, you know, you normally have that's normally in there, but it really depends on the area. There's a lot of variation in that.
Okay. All right. So, any homes after what, the year 2000? Is that a safe assumption that are probably going to have that, or is that not even a safe assumption? Any homes built
you know,
after?
You most likely do have it. You most likely do. You really, you know, there's a lot of different configurations that are out there. You know, if it's not hooked up, it's actually pretty easy to hook up, and you know, it's not difficult.
Okay. And I guess you can always go back if you decide for some reason that you know, you can always put, don't toss out your current thermostat until you make sure that it's up and running and working properly. Does it give you any kind of a validation? I mean, or is just when the screen comes on and starts working, that means it's all working? I mean, how do you know it's working?
Oh, that's a great question. It actually comes on, and it brings you to a very easy setup process to make sure that you're you know, very easy to connect to your Wi-Fi network.
Mm-hmm.
And it just walks you through the process and lets you know that you're successful.
Okay, so if I hook it up and I don't have that 24-volt thing, is it going to say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I don't have that 24 volt, and you need to"?
Well, if you hooked it up and you didn't have power to it, it wouldn't do anything.
Ah, I wouldn't do it. That's a good indication right there. Okay, I probably done something wrong because the screen is black, and although it's an attractive-looking unit, we all right. So that's a good thing. What kind of consumers would you say, Jim, decide to purchase an EverSense?
Really, it's fantastic for commuters, people that are you know, driving you know, long distances, busy families on the go, everybody coming and going. You want to make sure that everybody stays comfortable, and you want to make sure that you don't forget to save energy when the last person leaves the home. Certainly the environmentally conscious people out there, people who travel a lot, just anyone needing to lower their utility bills. Basically anyone who owns a home and wants to arrive home in comfort.
All right. Now, a lot of homes just don't have one thermostat. They have different thermostats in different parts of the home, so you can get I don't know, a better read or a better reaction from your cooling system or heating system, depending on the different temperatures of the house. Now, is EverSense set up to where you can put more than one in the home, or do you only need one? Talk to us a little bit about that.
So you replace each of your old existing thermostats with EverSense. Mm-hmm. What's really neat, when you go to any EverSense in the home, you can simply swipe your finger over and go to the other thermostat right there. So you can operate, let's say you had two of them in your home, mm-hmm. one upstairs, one downstairs, yeah. which is like I have in mine. Mm-hmm. I don't have to go to both thermostats to change the temperature.
That's nice.
I can simply swipe over and control either one from that spot. It'll communicate with the other one and do what it needs to do.
That is interesting. So up to how many thermostats can you control with the one thermostat?
We've never seen what the top end of that. In theory, there has to be a top end, yeah. but we've never run into you know, a home with too many thermostats for a door.
I mean, if you have a castle, let's say in Scotland, that has 150 rooms, I mean, it would have to be something really exotic. But the typical average home, you're going to have 2, maybe 3 thermostats in your house, and certainly that's within the purview. And I like the fact that you can control the thermostat. You don't have to go all the way downstairs to the one there to control that. You can actually regulate any of the thermostats from the one EverSense that you're at any particular moment, which I think is kind of neat. Now, talk to us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, talk to us a little bit about this process where, let's say there is me, my wife, and say 2 kids, and then we all have smartphones in this home that we live, the typical family, husband, wife, maybe 2, 3 kids, and they have their own smartphones. How does that work? I mean, in other words, when let's say one of the kids come home and the mother and father are still out in work or doing that, does the EverSense react differently, or is it going to say, okay, somebody's here and I need to adjust it no matter who it is? How does it work?
So this is really neat how this works. So each person, when you get the unit and you install it, sets up very easy to answer preferences on their mobile app.
Mm-hmm.
What is the temperature you'd like to maintain while you're away? Maybe you have a pet in the home and you don't want it to get, you don't want it to be, let's say, you don't want it to be as hot, for example.
Yeah.
But you would like to, you want the pet to be fairly comfortable. So you can maintain whatever temperature you want while you're away. It asks you what you'd like for when you're away and what you'd like for when you're at home, for both heating and cooling modes. Then it has just a little slider. You just take your thumb and you slide it, and you'll see a map with your home as the center of it. And you can put how far you normally commute, because one person might be 3 miles away from the home, another person is 12 miles from the home. And so what that allows it to do is it knows when the last person leaves the home, and it maintains their preferences. And then when the first person heads home, starts heading home and crossing their boundaries that they've set for their own commute, it picks their preferences and make sure that they arrive home to the ideal environment. So, for example, if you're 12 miles away and you actually start heading home, even though there's somebody that regularly works 3 miles away, it knows the person is heading home and will adjust it.
I understand, but now, and we're coming against the bottom of the hour break, so but I want you to think about, and my next question, or Ben's question, is going to be, what if there's a conflict? In other words, Junior's coming home and
I was just thinking that.
75 degrees, and then Dad comes home and he likes the house at 65 degrees, and then what happens when there's sort of...
I'm assuming a battle to the death, but we'll figure it out.
Well, we'll get back to that.
That's a great...
Yeah, and we'll get back to that, okay? Jim, this is the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, on the IRN Radio Network. Allure Energy is our guest. We're talking about the EverSense Thermostat. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, have you heard about the No hair removal device that's sweeping the globe? If you want to go weeks without shaving and get smooth, professional quality...
I'm talking about my No. It's this cute little hair removal system that you can take with you and use almost anywhere, at home or on the road. No more expensive in-office treatments, painful waxing, and no more wasting your valuable time. Got unwanted facial hair? No has patented Thermocon technology that works on all hair and skin colors, so it's perfect for using on all body parts. And now you can take advantage of this incredible risk-free trial. Get the No, the facial kit, a travel case, and a $100 discount shopping card, and you don't risk a penny to try it. Try the incredible No hair completely risk-free. Call 1-800-953-5415. That's 800-953-5415. 800-953-5415.
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? Not so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they are available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
Hiya kids, hiya. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America, this time the Axel DV-LCD28 Peephole Cam. Now who's that knocking at the door? Some doors have windows so you can see through that glass, but that glass tends to compromise personal safety and security. That's why many doors in apartments, some houses, some offices have peepholes where The globe is much smaller. It's really hard for anybody outside to see anything inside. But a lens can give occupants some idea of what waits without. We got in an alternative for review, the Excel, that's ACCELE, DV LCD28 peephole cam. The piece on the outside of the door that's just a lens in most peepholes is a video camera lens with this gizmo. A wire feeds through to the electronics pod, which goes on the inside of the door. The pod mounts there, so when that knock comes, you just push its power switch for a 10-second view on its color LCD screen, all powered by a pair of AAA cells. Assembly is easy, operation even easier. Bottom line, the Excel DVLCD28 peephole cam makes callers easier to see and ID at the door. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bullet Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. That was Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review. 33 minutes past the hour, and we have Allure Energy here with us, not technology. And yeah, and we're talking about their smart device, their EverSense. And right before the break, we were kind of getting into what happens because as you mentioned, even though someone works 3 miles away and someone works like 12, 15 miles away, and if they're heading home, your device is going to pick that up, and it's not going to just say, okay, well, this guy's closer, so we're going to set it to these settings. No, it's going to go with the one who is going to be home first. So, I mean, I know Craig, he likes his AC set to ungodly, and I like mine set to 72. So, I mean, if there's a conflict in there between two users, how have you resolved that?
Well, that's a great question. It's really funny that we sat around when we were designing this. We sat around and we pondered that question for a very long time. And then it hit us, what has always been the case? The first person to get home gets to decide what the temperature is.
The early bird gets the temperature they want.
Absolutely. So instead, you don't have to walk in this time and actually touch it, but you get the same benefit as if you did.
Ah, okay. So then if I come home first, and I like it set to, then says ungodly cold, and then he comes in, and then he's obligated to put his sweater on until he can adjust it. That's it. Whoever is there first, they decide, and just like always, people can certainly the dad of the house can declare that it's too cold in the house and there's too much energy being wasted. So he can certainly change that. All right. Well, at least I like to think that I like to hear that at least you sat around and kind of pondered what was going to what they were going to do with this.
Instead of just going to syncing with Facebook and checking the age, and the oldest person gets the preferred settings. I like that.
Exactly. Whoever's older gets the temperature. I mean, you could set it up that way, I guess, with whoever gets home first. So now we
wait, real quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Real quick. You mentioned that it would show you tips on how to save energy and things like that. Is it maybe while you're setting up your preferences, setting up your settings, that it shows you these tips, or is there some kind of power saving mode that you can switch on? Like, are the energy saving features built in, or do you kind of guide people to make those choices as they set it up?
Well, that's a great question. Actually, on the screen, there are different icons when you're using EverSense that will come up, and there's one for energy-saving tips. The nice thing is we constantly improve EverSense, and since it's hooked up to Wi-Fi, we can actually send down software updates to make sure that you have the latest and greatest software at all times, and we do that for free if there's anything. And while we do this, we update the energy tips as well.
That's nice to have that. Yeah. So it's actually a live interactive system is what you're doing. I mean, you don't have to. Okay, let's go to the thermostat. Let's download whatever it is into the thermostat. Since it's all done automatically, you're assured that you have the latest. I assume that means when you take it out of the box and it's been on the shelf for a while, and then you have something newer, it's going to go through that update process.
That's correct. That's correct. It will when you put it on the wall, it will detect if there's a new version.
Okay. Is that happening in the background, or does it say, now updating software? Or, I mean, how does it work?
It happens. It happens in the background.
Okay, so you don't even know that it's doing it then.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So if for some reason the Wi-Fi signal goes out, is the thermostat just gonna freak out and say, "I lost my parents. I don't know what to do. Help me," or is it just gonna go to a preset, internal thing?
Yeah. If that happens, it's a regular thermostat until the Wi-Fi comes back up.
Okay.
You can go over there and use it like you would a regular thermostat. You can still, adjust it up or down, and at any time it can be used as a regular thermostat.
It's because that's the heart of it. It is a regular thermostat, and it's connected. It's hardwired to your HVAC system, your AC and heating system, so you can use it as a. I mean, I would assume if people want to, they say, "Hey, it's really pretty and like it, but I don't want to use any of this stuff. I just want to use it as a regular thermostat." Could they?
They could.
Yeah.
They could. I think they'd be leaving a lot on it. They certainly could.
Okay.
The thing is, at least it would still be beautiful.
Yeah.
And it'd be easy to work.
And play music. I would think so. So let's talk a little bit about the weather and how that comes into play. What do you see on the? How do you tell us about the weather abilities of the EverSense and what you see on the screen? Kind of describe the whole process to us.
Yeah. So you simply tap the weather icon. Some people prefer to leave it on weather. Some people like to walk by and see that first thing.
Okay.
The weather app, it'll show you a little brief forecast, kind of like when you're watching the weather on TV and they show you your 5-day outlook.
Uh-huh.
That's the type of thing that you see. And then you can tap down in the corner. You'll see a little radar icon within that, and you can tap it, and it'll actually show you the weather radar for your area.
Oh, okay. And where do you get that information from?
I believe it's a service called Weather Underground. That's actually a good question. I'm not sure if they're still using that service, but it's pulled off of online. Of course.
Sure, exactly. Okay, and fairly accurate for the particular region or the city or even the county or where you're located. I mean, how localized is it to where you are?
Everything's localized. When you register your system, since the whole thing works based on your location, everything is easily localized down to your zip code.
Down to your zip code.
Weather.
Oh, well, that's good. Okay, so people are going to say, "Hey, am I going to really save money using the EverSense?" What would be your answer to them, and why?
I would say absolutely. You imagine. Well, first of all, you can save by not heating or cooling an empty home, of course. Now, imagine having someone standing at your thermostat. Think about the traditional thermostat that's in your home. Imagine having someone stand there 24/7 who knew everyone's preferences in the home and made sure that they never wasted energy, but that they always came home to the temperature. That's what EverSense does for you. It makes sure that you don't forget. You don't have to work in order to save. You just save. Now,
different systems may heat or cool a home in different time periods. I mean, when you say, "Oh, go to 75 degrees," in the winter, it might take different systems might do it very quickly. Some systems might do it. It might take a couple of hours to do that. How does EverSense compensate for the time variation from system to system?
Well, that's a great point. There are different thermal characteristics for each home out there. What EverSense allows you to do is get a really great jump start on that. Instead of walking in and waiting, in 30 minutes or however long your particular home takes to heat or cool, while you're on your 30-minute commute, it's already begun doing that. So you walk into a house that hopefully is either at your ideal temperature or quickly getting to your ideal temperature.
Okay, all right. So, but basically, it's based upon the amount when it first senses that you're getting close, and then activates. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so well, since each person can set their commute, the further away you are, the more precise it's going to be when you get to the location. So if you're say an hour out, then it's got plenty of time to start, start heating or cooling, so that you can walk into just your exact temperature. If you're 3 miles away, it may not be able to cool or heat your home to your perfect temperature, but you've already got that head start on doing that. So you come in, the air's already fresh and already stirring, and it's already started heating or cooling.
Yeah, because typically people will just leave the thing on all day, and it's cooling the house, let's say, all day when the house is empty, unless you have a pet there, and even then that might not be quite the same. So it sounds to me that rather than just leaving it on 72 degrees at all times and having it compensate, you could literally leave it turned off. I mean, it'll turn off everything, and then when it senses you're coming home, in anticipation of that, it'll start heating. So that's obviously going to save you money.
One of the things that we suggest when you talk about the different homes and how quickly they're cool, one of the things you can do to help compensate for that is to make sure that you don't that you maintain a temperature that will allow your home to heat or cool. So, for example, if it's if I'm far up north and it's 20 degrees outside, I don't want to just shut my system off because it's going to get too cold. So what I might want to do, if I like it to be, let's say, 68 degrees when I walk in the door, I might want to say, let's not let this get below 60 degrees. So instead of just shutting it off completely, let's turn it on occasionally so that we maintain about 60 degrees or 58 degrees or whatever it is that you like. And that gives me that nice jump start on getting my home ready for when I arrive versus just having it completely off, because in extreme conditions, it's not a good idea to have it completely off.
Right, and besides, you don't want to have a frozen popsicle when you get home.
Absolutely not. So it can maintain whatever you like while you're away, and most people know their homes and what works for that.
Yes, exactly. All right, well, that makes sense. All right, so so if people want to purchase EverSense, do they go to the local Home Depot or something, or where do they go to? Where is it available?
Well, right now, if you want to purchase one, you can go to AllureEnergy.com. You can go to HomeDepot.com, as you mentioned, Tiger Direct, Best Buy, Amazon.com. So there's a number of online places that you can get it today, and a number of the stores are running programs where they're going to have it in the stores pretty soon in most of the home improvement.
It sounds like you have most of the bases covered by the stores that you've mentioned too. Are the prices usually the same, or you can find it? Is there much fluctuation? Well, what's the manufacturer's suggested retail price for the EverSense?
EverSense runs $299.
Okay,
it is generally the same price wherever you get.
Okay, so no matter where you go, it's going to be $299. Okay, and now is there any charge? Are there any services that you have to subscribe to, like the weather, or is that basically included, or is there some sort of subscription?
It's all included. We don't do any hidden fees or subscriptions. We want people to get a nice product and enjoy it, and we want them to save every month, not to have to pay some subscription fee or something like that.
I have to subscribe to some place to keep my home warm, and I forget to pay it per month, and you come home to an icicle, because you forgot. Who forgot to pay the subscription fee? No, okay, that's it exactly. All right. So it's available. It's $299, and you can buy it at the now. If you want to go to the Allure Energy, if you want to see more about it, just go to our homepage at ComputerAmerica.com. Go to ComputerAmerica.com. Just click on our show notes button, and you'll see today's show, the 24th of October, and you'll see Allure Energy. It's right there, and the description, and you can click on it. It's actually a link, and it'll take you right to the Allure Energy website, so you can watch. They have a number of videos that you can watch. You can see all about it and get a better sense for it, and then either place an order right there or just go to your local any of the stores that Jim mentioned and pick one up, or two or three, depending on how big your home you have. Or hey, it would make a nice gift. I mean, the holidays coming out. Can you imagine? I think this is kind of cool, giving an EverSense for the holidays. Do you think this would be a good gift item? I mean, it's a little unusual. It's a little off the wall, but it could be on the wall too. What do you think?
Well, you're going to keep. This is a gift that's going to. I guess I'll use the old cliche, it's going to keep on giving, because all year long everyone's going to come home to comfort, and you're going to get to enjoy the financial benefit of saving money.
I think if you give it, like if Ben gives it as a gift, he's going to fix it so it'll always show his picture on it, and it can't remove. So you know that the person that gave it to them, so you always have this smiling face on the thermostat. So are you now? What else do you plan to introduce, in the near future? I mean, with this, because obviously it's upgradable. And there are different things you can do. Talk a little bit about what's going to come down the pike.
Well, something we're really excited about. I'm very excited about a new product called Aura. Now, traditionally, thermostats are placed primarily in hallways and other, fairly out of the way places. Mm-hmm. Now, often the temperature in the hallway is much different than in other rooms of the home.
That's very true.
So if I'm watching the big game with my friends, or in the kitchen cooking something, or whatever I'm doing, I really don't care what the temperature is when I have a crowd of people, watching the game with me. I don't care what the temperature is in the hallway. I want it to be comfortable in the room that I'm in. So we have this small Bluetooth low energy device that comes in a variety of colors. It's just a small little thing, a little smaller than a coaster, and you set them in the different rooms. You walk into that room, and as soon as you tap it, all you have to do is just touch it, and it says, I'm in this room, take the preferences that I have set for this room and apply them, and start reading the temperature from in here, and heat or cool based on the room that I'm in.
Well, that's nice. Now, does the HVAC system for the home have to be able to divert different temperatures to different rooms in the home, or is that just a general command?
It's a general command, so you don't have to have all of the expensive damper systems and things out there. Now, those are nice. Damper systems are certainly nice, but they're rather high dollar, and there's a lot to do. This is made to work with your regular system that you have, and it just says, okay, heat or cool. Get the temperature from the living room, for example, and heat or cool until the house is set to that. Now, I'm testing this product, and I keep it on my nightstand. So I live down in Texas here, where most of the time we don't use a whole lot of heat, mostly cooling. I like it to be a little cooler when I sleep. So when I go into my bedroom, I just tap it, and it says, hey, I'm going to bed. Use this cooler set of preferences, and make sure that this bedroom is that temperature.
Exactly. All right. So I think, because typically, what does a thermostat cost these days? I mean, they're typically. I've seen thermostats quite expensive, but the average thermostat, $180. Would you say?
I mean, you can get thermostats of all prices. I mean, you can buy $30 thermostats. You can buy, a lot of the the new smart thermostats are certainly running, in the well above $200.
Okay.
So that seems to be the case. Something like EverSense is actually one more thing helps with some of the costs. We're actually in talks to add some other products to it, because it's actually we see it as being the center of the connected home. So you'll soon be able to add, and I can't make specific announcements tonight, but you'll soon be able to add things like cameras, like cameras and other things to the system, because it's ready. EverSense is ready to do that. So we're working with some other interesting folks, on a variety of things that you'll be able to add to that. And so the answer there is that it's not just a thermostat.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is, if you pick up an EverSense, you're also buying a little bit of the future built in, because since it's upgradable via software and download, I guess, different instructions to that you can configure it with with other equipment that you're going to be coming out in the future, and not have to update the EverSense itself.
That's correct.
So that's nice. You mentioned like video cameras or some of the other things for home automation. Evidently, you'll be able to get and it will work with the existing EverSense that you're purchasing today. So you're buying a little bit of that future built into this product.
That's correct.
That is correct. Okay. So obviously, if people want to go find out more, just go to the Allure Energy website at allure-energy.com. Or again, you can go to computeramerica.com and just click on our show notes page, and again, you can download it for yourself. Jim, anything else you want to tell us about the EverSense that we might not have mentioned before we say goodnight?
Yeah, if you want to see what EverSense is like a little bit to use it, if you notice, if you go to allure-energy.com, you'll notice that there's a little simulator on there. You can click on there, and you can kind of play around and see what it's like if you're touching an EverSense to use it.
Can you, you say you control the photos on the face, by the way. Can you, have the photos maybe, reflect the time of the day? In other words, you can see the sunrise in the morning and maybe the afternoon, or I'm just thinking just throwing some things out there. Maybe time of day, different images.
We're always working to improve our the different apps that are on here.
Yeah.
At this time you can't. But there are several. I don't want to tease you here with things, but there are several really neat things that we're developing on the photo side of it that we'll hopefully be able to announce.
Yeah, I would think that
maybe I'll.
Yeah, maybe come back and we'll talk about it, because I don't know, that just put that in the suggestion box, or maybe the story there. I mean, if it's raining outside and you look at the thermostat and it's a picture of the outside, but it's it's a rainy scene or something. If it's snowing, then you can see a snowy scene or something like that. I
like that.
Yeah, just kind of reflect. I mean, you obviously have the technology and the ability to do that. So just to have a little app that regulates. The images that you're seeing, that you have them all stored in there, and maybe in the evening you're seeing a little sunset picture, in the morning you're seeing the birds chirping picture, that kind of thing. That can be cool. Yeah, exactly.
You bet.
All right, Jim. Well, listen, thank you so much for being with us here, and let's touch base again in the next few months or something, 6 months from now, and let's see how things are going for Allure Energy. Okay.
Well, that sounds great. Thank you for having me.
All right, Jim. Have a good evening. Take care. Good night. All right, bye-bye. All right, so there you go, Allure Energy. Again, the EverSense, and you can check it out for yourself, again, at allureenergy.com. Now, Ben, I understand we've got some interesting stories coming up for the second hour. And
I wouldn't say interesting, but we have them.
Uh-huh. All right, well, for example, what are some of the stories that we're going to be talking about?
There's a robot that will actually go up. Okay, Craig. You're thinking surgery, right?
Yes.
And you know that there's already a technique out there where surgeons can go in through your leg to operate on your heart.
Yes, that's true. Yes. It's laparoscopic technology, I think it is.
Something like that. They go in through the artery and they reach all the way up into your heart. So they don't have to actually cut your chest open. So now they have a method similar to that, but for your brain. Where do you think they're going in through?
Your nose?
They're going in through your cheek.
Your cheek?
Your cheek. Yeah, cheeky. The robot will go in through your cheek and actually be able to go up next to your cheekbone, go in through the cheekbone, and go up to your brain.
Cool. Some of the stories that we're going to be talking about tonight here. By the way,
we're also going to talk about the Fire Phone and how that's a flop, and Gmail and their new app, and some winter warming gadgets, because winter is just charging headlong into us. So.
Yes, exactly. And these are just some of the stories we're going to be talking about. And also just want to remind our listeners that tonight is the last night of our Logitech contest. That's right. And if you don't get your entry in now, you're going to lose out. We don't want you to do that. Head over to computeramerica.com and just click on our Enter Contest right under the Interact pull-down menu, and go to the Logitech contest and look at all our great prizes that we have. It's finishing tonight, Friday, October 24th at midnight Eastern Time. So that means you have about a little over an hour to get your entry in just send us your an email that contains your full name, shipping address, and phone number, and send it to contest@computeramerica.com. We've got the third place prize is the Logitech HD webcam C310, valued at $50. The second place prize is the Logitech G400S optical gaming mouse, valued at $60. And the grand prize, the Logitech X300 mobile wireless stereo speaker system, valued at $70. And it comes in 4 colors, and you get to pick the color that you want. But again, you have to send it in, get it, and again, all of our contest information is private. We give it out to nobody, okay? Unless you're a winner, and then we'll give Logitech your contact info so they can mail you your prize. But that's it. So get your entry in now. Just again, contest@computeramerica.com. All the instructions are right there. It's really simple to do that. And of course, we have our show reminder winner of the week. That's coming up in the next hour. And that's really simple. You just subscribe to our weekly email newsletter, the show reminder. There's a place to put your first and last name and then your email address. You click the blue submit button. It'll send you back a confirmation email to which you must reply. And once you've done that, we confirm that you're the person that we're going to send it to. Every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, you'll get the show reminder. It is the only publication in the universe that tells you who's going to be on the show for the entire week. Gives you the lineup so you can see who's going to be on the program. So if you see something really extra interesting, you want to tune in, you don't want to miss it, you can do that. And again, every Friday, from that list of subscriber names, we draw a winning name to win the Logitech T650 rechargeable glass touchpad. Beautiful. Click on it, and it'll take you to the Logitech page where you can read all about it. And we're going to give some lucky person tonight is going to win that. Okay. And then, of course, on Monday, we're going to have our 3 winners from the Logitech contest. So, again, 1 hour and 30 seconds you have to get your entry in for our Logitech contest. Coming up in hour 2, computer and technology news, brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You're listening to the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, and the IRN Radio Network. We're going to break just for a few moments and be right back. Stay with us.
Broadcasting live, it's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Hello and welcome into hour 2 of the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
Okay, and we are into hour 2 of the show. Again, thanks to Allure Energy for being here with us, talking about their EverSense technology. Jim Mills, Vice President of Business Development, was on first. If you missed it, of course, you can listen to it at any time, at your leisure, because just go to ComputerAmerica.com, go to the archives page. It's right up there. You just click on that, and then you can listen to it via iTunes. It's listed there. Blog Talk Radio has all of our shows archived there as well. Go to the YouTube, our YouTube page. We have access to all those places there, so you can listen to the show again and again and again at any show that you'd like to. It's all up there waiting for you if you missed anything. So head over to ComputerAmerica.com. So, what did you think of that EverSense? Would maybe we should put one in our home. What do you think?
It's combining technology that I think is readily available and putting it in a simple solution.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like it's going to confuse you, blow your mind, just be crazy, but it's essentially putting a tablet with specialized software in a place that was originally analog. So, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. Plus, you can play music on it. You can stream music to it. I mean, you can.
Well, it's essentially a tablet with specialized software.
Yeah, very good. And of course, they can update it too. So you always have the latest version.
It's like a tablet.
Mm-hmm. On the wall.
Okay.
Okay.
The internet is such a crazy place. Like I was just searching around for stories and stuff like that, and then I come across a Tom Lehrer reference. Lear.
Yeah. Tom Lehrer. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and then it turns out. Have you ever heard his song "The Elements"?
No, I have not.
You've never? Do you know who Tom Lehrer is?
No.
He was back in the. I think he performed back in the 50s and 60s. He did songs.
Well, I wasn't born then.
Hmm?
I wasn't born then. How would I know about it?
You sure? Well, it says here he was active from 1945 to 71, and he came out with a lot of music that I think a lot of our listeners have actually heard from. The Elements and I'm sorry, Poisoning Pigeons in the Park.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure you haven't heard of this guy?
No, it doesn't remind me.
You are a fan of parody music and things like that. I mean, this guy was like Weird Al before Weird Al was a person.
No, I'll have to check into him. I'll look up.
He has a lot of great songs, and he did one called The Elements, and it turns out that Daniel Radcliffe, you may know him as Harry Potter, actually did a cover of it. And, I mean, it's a very impressive song. It's essentially like a 5-minute song where they recite.
All right.
It's very interesting.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just do some news. And I like the fact that you always do pick the first story, so we're going to continue to do that. So let's do some news. Tonight's computer and technology news is brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You can visit them at slimwareutilities.com to clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system for free. That's right, free. Everything on the Slimware Utilities website is completely free. No obligation, no catches, no gotchas, no freemium models, none of that. No crippled versions. They are completely free. We suggest that you download them all. Why not? Have them. I mean, there's their backup software. They truly will speed up, clean, and optimize your Windows system. Download them, keep them, even if you don't use them immediately, because when you want to have them, it's great that you have them. And trust me when I say that they're going to do exactly what we say they'll do, and you'll be very happy about it, and you'll thank us for it. SlimwareUtilities.com. So Ben.
Yeah, apparently everyone in the chat room says that this guy was on Carson a lot. So if you saw Carson, Tom Lehrer.
I know Timothy Lear, but I don't know Tom Lear.
Tom Lehrer. He's like a mathematician. He was okay, whatever. You'll hear him and you'll be like, oh, that guy. He's very funny. If anyone out there hasn't heard of him, like Craig has, he is extremely funny. So
if I look at a picture of him, maybe I'll be able to.
Sure. Yeah. They're talking about him in the chat room right now. And yeah, he has.
Well, there's I just downloaded it. It's a video, but I stopped it.
Yeah, careful. Okay, so how about this story? And this is for, as we said, winter is coming headlong. I live in South Florida, and it actually got down to like 74 today. So, we almost had to break out the socks. And it was, a moderate temperature. I believe Craig is experiencing temperatures much, much colder in the, low to mid negative 40s.
No way. It's not that cold here. Not
joking.
Yet.
Anyways, here are a couple of great products that, if you haven't thought about it and you're thinking of a gift or maybe just to treat yourself, these are some images that, that Time magazine actually, kind of found. Okay. So, again, this one from Doug Amuth, and it's 5 unique winter warming gadgets for under $50.
Oh, this is cool.
And so, hand warmer smartphone charger combo for $34.99. Convergence is your middle name. It used to be Brock, but you changed it. Your seemingly never-ending search for a convergence device that could warm your hands, charge your smartphone, and illuminate your path finally led you to this product. A lipstick-looking doodad that warms your hands, charges your smartphone, and triples as a flashlight. It beats your own invention you were using before. A flashlight duct taped to a surge protector with finger melting exposed wires that spark sporadically. So, yep, it's a 3-way smartphone charger, flashlight, hand warmer,
34
and
not
yeah,
bad. Yeah.
and it's not that not that big, so you could definitely keep it in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Next one, this one seems practical. Toilet seat warmer for $50, $49.90. You're used to the finer things in life. You drive a Mazda. You drink Budweiser Black Crown. You have an above-ground pool. Fancy. So it's no surprise that you seem relaxed and refreshed all winter long. Why? A warm toilet seat, of course. Let the mouth-breathing heathens be shocked awake in the morning by their common plastic toilet seats. You prefer a bit more refinement.
That's right up there with heated car seats.
Maybe it is, but I think a warm, like, there is nothing worse than just that ice cold, bone chilling to the soul, cold toilet seat.
Oh, that's terrible.
It hurts. It doesn't even hurt you physically; it hurts you emotionally.
Yeah, especially when you lean back and the cold.
Oh, and it touches your back. Oh no.
Freeze! Yeah, it's awful.
Okay, so this next one, pajama warming pouch.
Oh.
For $40.
Mm-hmm.
If you wear pajamas. So, your nanny used to terrify you with urban legends of a primitive people who wore room temperature pajamas to bed. You'd shiver in horror until she pulled your perfectly toasted pajamas out of your family's heirloom pajama warming pouch. When she died, you buried the pouch with her. Ursula was always more of a mother to you than your own mother, a truth you wouldn't come to accept until you were in your early 30s. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah. She's dead, and it's time to replace the pouch.
There you go.
This author's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
So, pajama warming pouch.
I like these next ones.
Not bad. Next one, practical is the name of the game. USB heated narwhal slippers.
Yeah, these are cute.
For $25.
I could see you wearing these.
Narwhals, adorbs. I can't even. They're so cute. Other whales might make fun of them for their weird tusk thingies, but we don't know. That. For all we know, whales don't judge other whales based on appearance. We can only assume they do because we do, and we as humans are the best. So great. Just as narwhals are bound to the ocean, so too are these slippers bound to your closest USB port. Plug them in and feel the heat. If you're feeling adventurous, unplug them and walk around until they cool off. But then, hurry back to sitting in front of your computer. Don't mess around.
That's it.
Unfortunate that they aren't charged and, they kind of give you heat throughout the day. But,
yeah.
I mean, if you're one of the rare individuals that actually has computer slippers, this could take the place of them. And then this last one, barely edging out the $50. This is $49.99 for a heated steering wheel cover.
This looks good.
Yep, extending one or more of your fingers towards the other drivers is a rich American tradition. You can imagine which one. But the cold winter months can leave your joints frozen and stiff, making it difficult to show other drivers your displeasure in a timely fashion. Assuming you're not wearing bulky gloves, which can make whichever finger you're extending imperceptible to other drivers. Don't even get me started about mittens. This rechargeable heated steering wheel cover will ensure your hands are toasty warm, leaving your fingers loose, flexible, and ready for quick extension.
You're right. He's a funny writer.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And oh man, I just realized that they're linking to he has 5 other desk toys, 5 other junk food gadgets, sleeping gadgets, cell phone gadgets. All right, so this guy obviously has a track record of this. But yeah, I mean, all of those, yes, they were funny, but yes, I think a few of them were actually practical. And, if you're looking for gift ideas, things that keep you warm, isn't that bad of an idea?
Well, moving right along to CNET, this story, the Inbox is Google's new killer email app. That's right. Gmail is getting a major makeover in Google's newest app, Inbox. And it's going to be available for iOS and for Android. Announced today, the app and web service is completely separate from Gmail, and it seeks to change how your emails are organized. So far, I can say it absolutely succeeds, again, according to the author of this article, Sarah Mitroff from CNET. She goes on to say, it does this by categorizing every email you receive as either an important message that deserves space in your inbox or as less important update that can be jumped into a label with other messages like it. Can be lumped into a label with like it. Google introduced this concept in the latest version of Gmail from 2013 with the tabbed inbox, where messages are automatically grouped into labels such as promotion, social, and update. Inbox takes that further with a new approach and more labels, all in the name of helping remove clutter from your email. That's a noble ambition, by the way. Now she says, although I've only tested Inbox for a short time, she says I can already see myself ditching the regular Gmail app for it. Not only is it visually appealing with every feature I want within easy reach, it's also full of features that let you completely tailor your email to your habits and personal organization strategy. Just to note that Inbox is invite only for now, and you can email Google at inbox@google.com to request an invitation. Google said that current users can invite friends from the app or website, but so far that feature isn't available. Okay, so here's your new inbox. Okay. The app's design is clean and simple, and seemingly influenced by Android Lollipop's new material design. Your inbox is in chronological order, with messages from today at the top, followed by older emails. That makes a lot of sense. Any emails that show up in your priority inbox will appear there. For each email, Inbox will show a highlight from the message, including any attached images, documents, or videos, helping give you some context. At the bottom of the screen, there's a new simple Compose button, and when you tap it, it will show the 3 people you've emailed the most in recent memory. There's an option to add a new reminder, more on that later, and compose a new message. Okay. Then they have something called bundles. She says, if you're like me, you get a mixture of personal messages, promotional emails, account updates, and social alerts every day. Currently, Google is smart enough to recognize these emails and put them into corresponding tabs in my inbox. The Inbox app takes this idea a bit further with bundles. Now similar emails are lumped together into a bundle or a themed label. Then you'll see a collapsed folder in your inbox of those messages, and you can tap it to expand and view the emails. This is designed to cut down on clutter by keeping similar, less likely important messages grouped together so they don't get in the way of more important emails. Makes sense. The pre-made bundles are in the inbox are travel, purchases, finance, social, promos, updates, forums, and promos. You can move emails in and out of these bundles to help Inbox learn what should go where for your account. You can choose to remove any bundle, but keep in mind that if you do, each individual message that would otherwise be bundled will now show up in your inbox. You can create your own bundle by giving it a name and selecting what kind of messages you want included in that bundle. The setup process is very similar to creating a new Gmail filter. It can be very helpful if you get many emails from a specific sender or with certain keywords. Bundles are a very powerful part of the Inbox program. You can use them to organize your messages and control what emails show up in your inbox. Within each bundle, you can even choose what time of day a bundle appears and choose if the bundle triggers a notification or not. It's got a lot of features here, and it goes on and on. It's quite involved here.
Probably shouldn't go over all of them.
Okay. Well, there's another one called Swipe It Away. Inbox uses...
Sounds like you can swipe it one way or another and it'll throw it away. It's pretty obvious.
That's pretty good. Okay. And then you got something called Snooze for Later. Okay.
Probably hide it for a little bit.
Yep, exactly. And then it could be tomorrow or next week or someday. You can pick, you know. Also, the reminders are at the top, so you can see, you know, that they show up at the top of the screen. If you schedule a reminder for a specific time or place, It will appear when it's supposed to, while reminders that aren't time-sensitive will stay at the top at all times. Also, there's something called Outlook. Inbox by Gmail is a totally new take on email from Google, with tons of powerful features. While a lot of the backbone of Gmail is still here, such as archiving and labels, Inbox introduces a new way of thinking about organizing and dealing with your emails. You get the freedom to compartmentalize every single message or let them all flow into a single inbox. You can control when emails show up in your inbox, letting you save social updates from the end of the day or get all of your important work emails when they come in. Now, she finalizes this by saying, look, I've only scratched the surface here. Wow, that's a lot of scratching. But I can already see how powerful the app can be. For many, it will replace Gmail, either on Android or iOS. Now, but she says, don't worry, Gmail isn't going anywhere for the time being, but she says, I look forward to using Inbox everywhere I go, on my phone, tablet, and computer. So there you go.
I've actually read quite a number of reviews from other sources that actually kind of line up with this. Everyone seems to really, I mean, like, even for something that is supposedly quote-unquote dead, like email, and yes, people are proclaiming email dead all the time.
Why?
I don't know. Everyone says how much they love this app and how well it does email.
Mm-hmm.
So, the only thing here, of course, is that, like I said, you can send in for a request to join, or you can have someone with friends. And by the way, that feature is now available since the writing of that article. Now anyone with the app can invite 3 friends.
Oh.
So if you remember back when Gmail was first launched, it was the exact same thing. Like, you either had to have a friend and they could give you one of their 10 invites, or you had to write them directly and request it.
Mm.
So, I mean, not exactly new for Google, but it'll be a little bit before this is like their version of an open beta. So before they let everyone come in, they just make sure that, slowly but surely they build their numbers and they test out all the features. So still technically in beta, like, you can get it, but you have to know someone. And from what I've heard, I mean, everyone seems to love it.
Yeah, it looks good. Oh, I don't use email on my smartphone. Because, quite frankly, I want everything kind of consolidated on my computer. But if I get it with iOS or Android, so might be. All right.
So that was an email one. So now we are going to talk about something that should make everyone happy.
Yes. What's that?
Yay! Yay! Hooray! Okay. This one from cordcuttersnews.com. Obviously, their website dedicated to cord cutting. And cord cutting in the reference of course, cutting your cable subscription, not, just cutting cords for the fun of cutting cords. This article here says that the average United States download speed jumps 11.03 megabits per second in just 1 year.
Really?
Yeah, that's a huge increase. So the most recent average U.S. download speed from Ookla Speed Tests, Ookla, speedtest.net, that's them, for October 2014 is 30.70 megabits per second. I don't know why I had trouble with that. Anyways, in October 2013, the average speed was just 19.67. Globally, the average speed is 21.03, up from 15.61, in the same time frame. And in 2012, 13, and globally 15. So in the year 2012, the U.S. on average was actually behind the global internet speed. Wow. And now we are about 10. We are now about 10 megabits faster than the global average.
It's interesting you're doing this story because I just got word from I heard from a PR agency today that the Carolinas, North Carolina, is being introduced with a new service that's going to give gigabit internet service. Gigabit is coming to the Carolinas.
Very nice.
Yes, and I was in touch with them today, and we're going to see if we can arrange to do something like that here. I have
Yeah,
100
and
megabits per second now, but a gigabit per second, that's
oh, that's not it. Like the jump between the two is 10 times faster. So
Yeah.
yes, 100 megabits is very, very fast. 10 times faster than very, very fast is amazing.
Amazing. Yeah, well,
So,
hopefully we can get it here.
yep. So clearly, 2014 has seen major improvements to the world internet backbone, with just 2.44 megabits average increase between 2012 and 2013, but of 5.61 megabits in 2014. The United States seems to be leading the charge to faster speed with the increase of 11.03 megabits a second. And if you really want speed, in the United States, here are a few places the companies to check out. The top 10 states for internet speed. Number 1, New York.
Why am I not surprised?
New York, exactly, because they have Wall Street there, and it's milliseconds matter when you're doing trades.
Yes, it is.
So 40 megabits on average in New York. Second, Delaware. I guess in case they ever have to write a new, Declaration of Independence. That's their business. Next one, New Jersey, because New York lives there. Maryland, Missouri, California at number 6, Rhode Island, even though they misspelled road. Rhode Island, Virginia, I guess DC, Massachusetts, and bringing up the rear is Nevada at 10.
Wow.
No, I'm sorry, number 10, Nevada at 34.55 megabits a second. Coming in the bottom of the list are Kentucky with 15.87, poor Kentucky, and Maine. You Maine lobsters clogging up their pipes at 14.86 megabits.
I want to hear about the fastest possible internet in the U.S. What do you got for me?
Fastest possible, of course. You got Kansas City, Missouri, Google Fiber. Wait. It actually said here that Ookla did not include Google Fiber on the list.
Ah, okay.
But even so, Google Fiber is in Kansas City, so of course the competition in Kansas City has to at least try to step up their game. So the fastest possible internet, number 1, Kansas City at 68.59 megabits a second. Number 2, Austin, Texas. Grayson Hamilton is digging that right now. Number 3, Huntington Beach, California at 50. Flushing, New York. That's a place?
Yeah, you ever heard of Flushing, New York? Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. and then 5th, New York, New York.
Wow.
At 48.24.
It's at the bottom.
And of course, the top 5 major ISPs in the U.S. are Google Fiber, completely smoking the competition.
Yeah.
Google Fiber with an average speed of 230.69 megabits. Number 2, Verizon Fios at 42, Cox at 40, Comcast at 38, and Charter at 38.5.
I'm using Charter, but I get 100 megabits.
Yeah, but this is the average. This is taking every because if you've ever been to speedtest.net, you can actually submit your results, and it tells you, where are you, what server, what ISP are you using. So this is taking all of the results from Ookla speed test and compiling them by all the different criteria, the ISP and whatnot. So even though, yes, Craig, most places that have Charter have access to 100 megabits.
Yeah.
This is on average. Charter Communications customers get on average 38.45.
Oh, there you go.
So that means on average, Google Fiber customers get 230.69.
Cool.
On average. So yeah, these numbers come from millions of tests run on Ookla websites every day. They average out the tests for the last 30 days. They also only counted tests that took place within 300 miles of the client or host, because speed, as you may know, can vary widely as the further you get away from different nodes.
Yep.
So different servers. And they go on to explain exactly how they did it. But those are some numbers. If you heard somewhere that you live, maybe if you live in one of the top 10 states for internet speeds, and you're still getting that 6 megabit dial-up, or the 12 megabit broadband, and you heard people are getting 40 megabits on average, might be time to call someone up and say, hey, is there anything available for me? Are there any upgrades? Because I know personally, I just did this a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought I had the fastest, and I had 18, and they sent me a letter saying, hey, we're going to upgrade you to 24 for free. And I'm like, perfect, thank you. And then I contacted them like 2 months later, and it turns out, without telling me, they had access to, I had access to 50 megabits, which is twice what they were giving me.
Oh, really?
So even if they don't tell you, they may have something faster and better available, and most of the time they will upgrade you and work with you to get that.
So what do you have now?
Now I have 50.
Oh, good. Okay.
And this was just me. I hadn't renegotiated my contract with my ISP lately, but but all I have to do is say, I really like the service, the price, is. And they were able to double my internet speed and pretty much half my bill.
Very
so,
good.
I mean,
Nice.
it's worth looking into if you haven't.
There's
checked it out lately.
words of wisdom. Ben's got some great words of wisdom there. All right.
I have those once in a while.
Yes, you do.
I get them from fortune cookies.
I don't know if we have time to. No, we don't really have enough time to start another story.
You can tease it.
Okay. Well, how about a device that's coming out that will tell police dispatchers not only that a police officer has fired their gun, but it'll tell them when and where. Okay, when they fire their gun.
And
So,
it even has a little GPS unit inside the bullet, so it knows where it's lodged.
yeah, it's very, very close to that. And that's...
A police officer fired their gun, and it's lodged in the offendant's left leg.
Yes, exactly. But they're going to know with these little... And evidently, it's... I don't know if it's going to be a national thing or if it's going to be... But evidently, they're starting to put these... They're starting to test these devices.
It sounds like it should be a national thing.
Yeah, you would think so. And then what are the stories that we got coming up here? Oh, well, this is kind of evidently they've found a toxin-secreting stem cells that may destroy brain tumors from inside out. That's kind of cool. All right, you're listening to the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, the Boost Radio Network, and the IRN Radio Network. Another News Test Bulletin review coming up, too. And our show reminder winner of the week. Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. Their mission is to protect and enhance the lives of companion animals and the people who love them. Their no-kill rescue shelter is open year-round, making it easy for people to adopt their best new friend. This year, Brother Wolf will find homes for over 2,400 orphan dogs, puppies, cats, and kittens. All have ended up as an orphan through no fault of their own. Brother Wolf has created a safe, nurturing environment where these special animals can heal emotionally and physically until they find a lifelong home. Their life-saving transport program brings dogs and puppies from overcrowded shelters in the south to rescues in the north where homes are easier to find. Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is a 501c3 organization. To learn more about their life-saving work and to make a donation, visit their website at www.bwar.org. That's www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. It. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-866-663-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So, disable the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. That includes your free HD TV upgrade, your free DVR upgrade, and your free professional installation. And the best part, the pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. So, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. 1-866-663-MY-TV. Disable the cable, cut costs, and get more. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. 1-866-663-MY-TV.
You were expecting me, of course. It's Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, the V-Alert, that's V.ALRT, the V-Alert VSN 400A Emergency Alert. The black disc is about the size of a small York peppermint patty and seems passive. One of the faces is a push button, and inside, Bluetooth is powered by a 2032 coin cell. Unscrew the case, halves to replace it. It comes with a wristband and a small rubber belt band. Many options for carrying or wearing it. The V-Alert Personal Emergency Alert Device VSN 400A gets paired with your Android or iOS smartphone, and you tailor its functions. Text and phone alerts can go to up to 3 contacts, sending the message you create and linked to a map of your location. You can let it detect a fall, then automatically send an alert 60 seconds later, giving you time to cancel it if it was an oops and not an ouch. A long squeeze manually triggers an alert. You get notified if you're out of range, and when you're in range, there's a mode that makes the disc beep and flash to help you find it. The application and disc can be separately silenced with separate control over sounds and lights. Bottom line, if there is any danger of getting into trouble where the right people knowing it can get you out, a V-Alert VSN 400A Personal Emergency Alert Device can be an effective and nimble ally. This is Marty Winston with the News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. 33 minutes past the hour, we are doing computer and technology news, brought to you by Slimmer Utilities. And
yes,
it's Friday.
Yes,
it's Friday. And
hey, yes,
that means
yeah,
in the second hour,
yes,
at the bottom of the hour,
yes,
on a Friday,
yes,
the stars align. It's time to announce our show reminder winner of the week.
Yes. So let's do it. Our show reminder winner is... The drums roll. The tension's out. Liz Lovejoy. Liz Lovejoy, congratulations! You win the Logitech wireless rechargeable touchpad T650. It's valued at $80. It's a glass smooth touch surface. It's a beautiful touchpad, and you've won it, the T650. So congratulations! You'll be contacted by Logitech, so they can mail you the prize, and you are our winner. And also, your name will appear, of course, in our show reminder winner, on our show reminder email newsletter this coming week. So there you go, Liz Lovejoy. Congratulations! Enjoy it. Okay, so Ben and I are doing computer technology news, brought to you by Slimmer Utilities, as you said. And what's the story?
Have I announced one yet?
No, the yard arm.
No, you teased yard arm.
Yes. So is it my turn to do it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, it's called the yard arm. And this device will tell dispatchers when and where police fire their guns. Okay. So the story goes on, with the exception of maybe old Andy Taylor. You remember that?
You're talking about not Leave It to Beaver, the Andy Griffith Show.
Yes, but the sheriff's name was Andy Taylor. Okay. Most police officers in the United States carry a firearm as part of their standard equipment. Wouldn't it be nice to know when those sidearms are drawn and why? Okay. Well, a Silicon Valley startup called Yardarm seems to think that exactly. So it's testing a new gun accessory that can notify police dispatchers when an officer draw and fire their weapons. Interesting. I wonder, it says draw and also fire. So in other words, if he just draws the gun and doesn't shoot, it's still going to let him know. That's kind of cool.
I mean, if it's a drawing thing, I can imagine some kind of like near field communication where if it's in the holster, it's okay, and as soon as it gets out of range, it would send a signal.
Yeah, probably. Well, evidently, it's a small Bluetooth-enabled sensor that attaches to the officer's pistol and interacts with a companion smartphone. In addition to tracking the gun's action, if it's been fired, and location, it can also sort out which direction the weapon was fired Wow, and even if it has simply left its holster. That's what I said. So if he just draws his gun, they're going to know. They're going to know which direction the weapon was fired. I fired that bullet at north by northwest. Okay. Unfortunately, the perpetrator was east.
It happens. You'd be surprised.
Yeah. The Santa Cruz County Sheriff Department. See, California, they're so progressive out there. The Santa Cruz County Sheriff Department, one of the police agencies testing the device, are optimistic about the yardarm's application. It could be used to detect when officers are in a hostile situation, but unable to call for backup. You see, normally they have that little thing, that radio on their shoulder or something, but if they're drawing the guns, and they can't call for backup, they're going to know. That's nice. It also adds one more layer of data for investigating situations where a firearm was discharged, making it a potentially useful tool for both officer and public safety. I mean, I can think so. So if the guy says, "Hey, now the policeman he shot at me," and they can and they determined that which direction where the policeman was and the perpetrator or the person, they can collaborate. They can collaborate the story of the police officer or the suspect, I guess. Based upon the information.
The closest thing I've heard of this is cops are starting to wear little cameras on their uniforms.
Like GoPros, you mean?
Not like GoPros, because GoPros would be too powerful. I'm talking like little ones that clip onto their shirt somewhere.
Okay.
And whenever they interact with the public, they turn their cameras on, and after they used it, complaints against officers went down 90%.
Really?
Because people, it had to be a combination of two things. One, the officers, knowing that they were on camera, obviously had to, be very polite, cordial, because they're being, recorded. So, if they were complained against, and it proves that they were, being rude or what have you, it would go against their best interest to film themselves. And then the other one is, if someone was being belligerent and just, started yelling at the cop and then saying, "I'm going to sue, I'm going to sue, I'm going to sue," just kind of pulling it out of nowhere that the cop was being rude, the cops then have a video camera and a videotape of exactly what was going on, and it would disagree with what the person said. So not only do devices like the one that you were talking about, the yardarm, and devices like or like personal cameras for officers, not only do they make it safer to be a police officer, because let's face it, people see you and they automatically treat police officers differently, but it also makes it safer for the individual who has to interact with a police officer, because the more information and the more recording and the more transparent it is, the better the better interaction I think it is for everyone.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that makes a lot of sense. Of course, you see a lot of that now with the dashboard-mounted cameras in cars. It'll keep track of if the police pull somebody over, and
there was one. A police officer. He hit 4 people with his car, I think, his police cruiser, and every time his dashboard cam malfunctioned.
Yeah.
And so, devices like these, they're not foolproof. Obviously, the officers have the ability to turn off the camera, turn on the camera, and of course they can malfunction on their own. But I think a lack of evidence is going to be just as concerning as if they were recording. So they're not foolproof, but they're coming along.
Yes, they are. And it works both ways. I mean, it can corroborate an officer's story, or
it could prove that an officer was out of line.
Exactly. Well, I've actually seen a few of those where the officer that was and he was just horrible to the person that he pulled over, and it was all recorded. I've seen a number of those where it gets caught on tape. So, anyways, the yardarm. That's kind of cool.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
So yeah, just the more technology, I think it's it seems like everyone has a story of a police officer was treating me rudely, just wasn't doing his job, wasn't helpful at all.
Yep.
I mean, if I think it'd make being a police officer that much better, just so you don't have to rely on, he said, she said.
Mhm.
You can actually have proof of everything.
Exactly.
So, there is one here about Nest, but I think we're gonna, or at least I'm not gonna cover that one. How about this one that we teased in the last hour? And this robot pierces your cheek to reach your brain.
That sounds painful.
It is painful, but sounds painful, but it might be better than drilling. In the future, some form of brain surgery may not require surgeons to drill through your skull.
Ah.
That's helpful. Researchers at the Vanderbilt University have announced a robot still under development that can target precise spots in the brain through the cheek, a route that would avoid critical regions of the skull and nervous system. For example, with 4 patients with severe forms of epilepsy that do not respond to other treatments, the robot could offer a far less invasive form of surgery than traditional approaches, which sometimes involve drilling through the skull to destroy epilepsy hotspots in the brain. But that procedure is a last resort because of its risk to patients. This robot could follow a precise, twisting path through the brain that would minimize damage. The needle feels springy, said David Comer, a graduate student who worked on the design. Because, that's what you need, a springy needle.
Springy needle, yes, exactly.
Yeah, the springiness enables the robot to force the heated nickel and titanium alloy needle through a tube and cast it in the shape of its eventual route through the brain. After the needle emerges from the end of the tube bit by bit, it returns to its original shape. It's like an inchworm where you're incrementally advancing the needle. Eventually, doctors will conduct the surgery inside an MRI machine, which can track the needle's minute progress through the soft tissue, but making sure that the progress doesn't slice up the surrounding brain.
Is a challenge, yeah, exactly.
Is a challenge, I'm sorry. Whatever path the tip takes, the next segment have to follow that. Says Comer, any deviation could be devastating. Their machines report accuracy is 1.18 millimeters, only 0.04 millimeters wider than the needle itself. So, that's extremely precise.
It is. Yes, exactly.
It's no brain surgery.
Yeah.
Anyways, Eric Barth, who designed the pneumatic system that forced the needle through the tube, and Bob Webster, who studies memory alloys, came up with the project when discussing ways their research could intersect. Comer and neurosurgeon Joseph Neiman got involved further down the line to help address the particular challenges of building a robot capable of neurosurgery. They expect to see the devices used in surgery within a decade. So not today, not tomorrow, not next year, but in the future. Brain surgery will no longer be done by humans, or some form of brain surgery may not be done by humans anymore.
Yeah, that's very, very.
It could be like a drive-through. You go through a drive-through, select what you want brain surgery. It would strap you back to a seat, have a robot come out the window, drill up into your brain.
You want fries with that brain surgery?
Exactly, it'd be awesome. Would you like codeine with that, and then it would send you on your way?
Exactly. Well, talking about something that you and I can use, this article is from Time magazine, and evidently it's titled, "This One Extension Makes Google Chrome Even More Awesome." And I know you use Google Chrome a lot. I think that's your primary browser, right, Ben?
Very much so.
Yeah, I use it too when I do news stories. It's actually very, very good. I like the fact that Google Chrome will identify whatever tab that you open. If there's sound coming from it, you can just look at the tabs and see which tab is emitting the sound, which you can't do with Firefox. And so when I do news stories now, I use Google Chrome just for that one additional feature, which I think is very, very useful. Anyway, this one small tweak to Google Maps, one giant time suck for mankind. Okay, the Google Maps team has just torpedoed the productivity of Chrome users with the launch of Earth View, a new browser extension that displays a random and beautiful satellite image of the Earth's surface each time the user opens a new tab. Okay, it's not exactly groundbreaking technology. In fact, it's just a marriage between two existing technologies from Chrome and Google Earth. But the sheer variety of terrains on display, from the schematic street view of downtown Chicago to a frozen mountain range in Antarctica, makes opening a new tab an oddly hypnotic experience, and opening dozens of tabs nearly irresistible. The app launched with little fanfare on the 14th of October, about 10 days ago, rapidly climbing the ranks of most downloaded Chrome extensions with more than 50,000 users to date. And they give you a place where you can download the extension. So what do you think? Opening up a new tab, you get a view of Google Earth? Something you'd want to use?
It's a little feature that I think adds a lot of aesthetic.
Yeah.
Aesthetic. Help me here.
It's nothing useful, but it's eye candy. It's really eye candy for your browser.
Pretty much. And trust me, someone like me, I open a new tab every, probably a dozen every hour. Like, I open a lot of new tabs.
You're talking browser tab, not beer tabs, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to clarify that. Okay.
One time. Anyways.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's if you use Google Chrome, it looks like a,
It's eye candy for your Chrome browser. It's nice. It looks nice. Yeah. We totally know about that. Okay. There you go.
So from a success to a flop, let's move on to the Fire Phone is officially a failure.
Wow, I would have thought that would have been more successful, but okay, yeah.
Yep. So Amazon's Fire Phone now only costs $1 if you buy it with a 2-year contract. When it launched just a few months ago, it was $200. If only it had been priced at $1 when it launched in July, perhaps it wouldn't have been such a failure. Although Amazon isn't releasing official numbers on units sold, the company did mention in its Q3 report today that it's taking a $170 million charge on inventory commitments, and that the massive hit is largely due to the Fire Phone's dismal sales. The company said it currently stuck with $83 million worth of unsold Fire Phones.
Wow.
That's a whole lot of phones sitting in a warehouse looking for good homes. So the Fire Phone had potential and could have at least broken even, but it started out with a few key and seemingly obvious mistakes. Most critically, it was overpriced for what it offered. Even with the 1-year membership of Amazon Prime, valued at $100, it failed to deliver what consumers wanted: quality apps on quality hardware. So by loading the phone with a stripped-down custom version of Android, Amazon limited Fire users to a small app store and its own pre-installed software. Also, the phone feels cheap and flimsy when compared to an iPhone or other similar-priced Android devices. To offset those shortcomings, Amazon loaded the Fire Phone with a colorful and flashy interface that uses 4 cameras to give the home screen a 3D-ish trick called dynamic perspective. The Fire Phone also got another trick, Firefly, a custom app that helps you buy things just by pointing the camera at an object you want to load into your Amazon cart.
Yep.
Although interesting on a technical level, the gimmicks didn't pay off. They didn't work. Smartphones have become a combination of little black book, an entertainment device, and a social companion, so paying $200 for a phone whose only real unique feature was to serve as a vehicle for buying things was a non-starter. The Fire Phone's product page at Amazon lists over 3,000 user reviews, mostly negative. The average rating is 2 out of 5 stars.
That's Amazon sells stuff primarily to make it easier to buy stuff on Amazon.
Yep.
Here's a perfect example of how that didn't work.
Seems like people didn't like the fancy gadget to let them buy more stuff on Amazon.
I thought the Firefly was kind of a cool trick. I mean, you could point it at something and it would load it into your car. That was kind of neat. And the dynamic perspective was also kind of neat. But you just can't sell a smartphone on a 2-trick pony like that. that's what it was.
Yep. Well, I think the author had it right when they said that people are looking for quality apps on quality hardware, and it sounds like, Apple does it right, Android does it right, Windows Phone, I guess, does it right. I mean, they're, in the green, so good for them. Amazon, not so much. So, I mean, Amazon, of course, is not known for their phones. Like, this isn't going to bring the whole beast down, but, for their first foray into smartphones, did not turn out well.
No, it did not. Oh, well.
Although I hear, you can get a pretty good deal on a Fire phone right now.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'll pass.
I can't believe they're selling it for $1 or a 2-year contract. Why don't they just say free?
Yeah, really, at this point.
I mean, it's $1. Whatever.
Nothing's going to help it at this point. Maybe they had done that out of the gate, maybe, but not now. They're stuck with $80 million.
They said, if they done out of the gate, but I mean, I think then, like the author's right, they probably could have broken even, but I think Amazon was trying to get a hit, and they missed. So they weren't trying to break even. They were trying to make something competitive and strong and a new segment for their company, and it just turned into a flop.
I'm waiting for them to come out with drone delivery.
I think we all are. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it is going to be awesome. And they have that same day service now, I think, in New York and a couple of big cities. If you order something on Amazon, you get the same day. That I really like that. I don't know how they can bring that to places other than big cities, though. That's going to be difficult to do.
Probably not, but I mean, even if they get it to big cities, that's obviously going to free up, more conventional ways of shipping products to rural towns, like UPS, FedEx, that kind of thing. It's going to free up a lot of space from them. So.
Yeah. Well, let's time for this last story here. We've been talking about Aereo, and basically, they provide free programming that you would find that you would have to pay on cable services, and evidently they lost. Evidently, it's a big win for broadcasters. The court now is shutting down Aereo's live TV feature. And evidently, a New York federal judge has sided with a group of major broadcasters, including 20th Century Fox and the PBS broadcasting system, and shut down TV over the internet startup Aereo's Watch Now system. The Supreme Court has concluded that Aereo performs publicly when it retransmits plaintiffs' content live over the internet and thus infringes plaintiffs' copyrighted works. This is just according to this judge, who wrote in her 17-page opinion, which happened yesterday. In light of this conclusion,
let's read the whole 17-page opinion.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Not in 6 minutes. Let's do speed reading. In light of this conclusion, Aereo cannot claim harm from its inability to continue infringing plaintiffs' copyrights. In addition, in light of the fact that they have shown a likelihood of success on the merits rather than just a sufficiently serious questions going to the merits, they need no longer show that balance of hardships tips decidedly in their favor. So basically, they've been shut down. They try to argue, that it should be allowed to pay the same retransmission rate that cable companies pay by law, but that got shut down too. Basically, they're saying the company's time-shifting feature, though, will stay alive for the time being, but they are continuing to fight on, all fronts as well. Basically, an Aereo spokeswoman said that we are reviewing the decision and evaluating our options moving forward. So they may or may not continue. But it was an interesting premise. But basically they were breaking copyright law, and now that's the legal decision for them. So
it was interesting until people figured out that it's illegal. Which, I mean, you could give it to them. Most illegal things are interesting, but
but impractical. And
I think we have time for one more quick story.
All right, you do it.
All right, really quickly. Ferns send signals to decide what sex to be.
Oh, does this work in singles bars?
It does not. Probably, fortunately, ferns. So, an inactive hormone made by females makes males when activated.
Okay.
So sex exists because it's evolutionary useful. Makes for easy repopulation. But it's also subject to all sorts of additional evolutionary constraints, from the amount of resources devoted to the offspring to the challenge of ensuring that the population ends with a useful ratio of male to female individuals. So a paper was released today talking about how ferns from a Japanese research shows that they can change their sex depending on what is needed. That signal is a chemically inactive hormone. When it's received by an immature sex organ, it gets converted to the mature form, which then influences the development of the tissue, causing it to mature as a male. The trick to all this is that an enzyme that's essential for activating the hormones is present in immature tissue, but the gene that encodes it gets shut down as the tissue matures.
I can see how this could cause a problem.
How so?
Especially in singles bars. I mean, it's terrible.
I mean, so it sounds like pretty much everyone's a female until, this hormone gets activated, and then it's like, okay, so then, a few of these ferns need to become males. Well, I mean, evolution is crazy.
It makes me glad that I'm not a fern.
Yeah, it would be confusing, to say the least.
90 seconds.
You'd just be a little fern sitting there, and you're saying, what am I?
Yeah, exactly. And that's not a good place to be. Hey, we got the weekend coming up. Listen, thanks all of you for listening to the show, and don't forget to sign up for our show reminder so we have another interesting week of programs and topics coming up for next week's program. Again, you got less than 2 minutes to sign up for our Logitech contest. It closes at midnight tonight
60 seconds.
Eastern time, so less than a minute, and we close the doors. And then we'll start a new contest on Monday after we announce the winners. Have a great weekend. Catch a movie.
Go out, study some ferns.
Go study some ferns. Propose to a fern. Something.
Make a fern. Make a man out of it. I don't know.
Fern decision. Exactly. All right, we're out of here. Thanks so much for being with us here on this Friday night. And Ben and I. We'll see you on Monday. So until Monday night, this is Craig Crossman hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy or a fern. And we'll see you Monday night.
Good night, everyone.
10 seconds.
Never heard of Tom Lehrer. What? No.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, everybody, thanks for watching. Again, have a great weekend, and Ben and I will see you on Monday. We'll tease. Who's coming on Monday night? We're going to be, Satisfy is going to be on with us on Monday night. So.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah, I do. Satisfy is, they are.
I'm reading through the questions. I'm not saying anything that's jumping out. Satisfy's going to be on. What they do, we'll figure out on Monday.
All right, you'll find out about that on Monday. Anyway, as I said, have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday night. So, good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Good night.